Happy New Year, Caner Universe. I'm Joe Robina of American Cane Self-Defense, and welcome to the first Caner Tip Tuesday of 2023. And those of you that are watching are saying, boy, he's sitting down today. It doesn't look like he's going to be a lot of action here. I'm looking for application and all that. That's all fine and dandy. We're going to do plenty of that in 2023. But for this that I'm going to share with you today is more important than any other content that I'm going to share if you have a legitimate interest in being the absolute best that you can be with this tool. And it starts off, before we do any of that, those of you that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're new to this, you're seeing this for the first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. And we have free resources, the most important one being that no-cost Cane Clarity Call, where you text the letters CCC to 305-745-7839. In less than 24 hours, you'll be scheduled. We'll have a conversation with you, find out where you're at in the timeline of your cane training, and give you an actual blueprint, something that you can do to really get to those results, and just be the absolute best. Do something functional. You're also invited to join us in the private Facebook group. It's a free group called Cane Flow. Look at the description at the bottom. Just request entry. They'll let you right in. It's 2023. What's everybody doing? So New Year's resolutions. People, one of the more popular ones is losing weight. You need to ask yourself, what is it that you want to accomplish with this tool in 2023? And feel free to comment on that and what it is that you're trying to do. Whether that be, hey, I just want self-defense, and I'm going to give you an actual, these are the areas that you need to focus on to really be good in each one of these components. And if you have physical, limitation, you have injuries, you're confined in terms of your movement and everything else, how are you going to make this happen? Because to sit there and say, boo-hoo-hoo, poor's me, look at my situation, criminals don't care about any of that. And that's why we exist. That's one of the reasons we're here, is to be here for you. Now, still in 2023, the number one reason people are coming to ACSD and they're seeking this tool out is for self-protection. So I'm going to address that now. It may surprise you to learn that self-protection is the easiest skill set to attain with this cane. When you have the blueprint in place, meaning a structured curriculum, a step-by-step, this is what you do first, second, and third. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And you have a set of trained eyes giving you that support, that feedback, the accountability, and the correctives that you're going to need to make this thing real. Now it becomes a very enjoyable experience. But keep in mind that you have that in place, and then you have the tool. And what does the tool do? Well, it creates leverage. I mean, look at this thing, right? I happen to be holding a Raven cane, right? That's our top tool for self-protection, 37-inch reach. And if you know what you're doing with this isn't rocket science. It should be something simple. And if you make it complicated, then you're going to get in the way. This is going to get in the way, and you're going to get in the way of yourself. But for instance, with ACSD, if you're coming in for self-protection, the first thing is the foundation. Every skill set has to have an alphabet, has to have a foundation. You learn this first. This is how you lay down the basis. And the first goal is to make you effective in the first 2.5 hours of training, to the point where you can't just walk out with this tool out there and people randomly put their hands on you, because you're a force to be reckoned with. You know exactly what you're doing. And that's not going out there mindlessly and whacking anybody with this. This is not what ACSD is about. Certainly not anything that I've preached with this tool. There is a method, and you live in a society that's governed by laws, and we respect those laws. So it's very much about this as well. But it's a skill set that makes you effective physically, mentally, and verbally, knowing what to say, when to say it, because ideally, the ideal form of self-protection with this or anything else would involve no body contact, right? And so one thing is to go out there and be destructive with this tool. Another thing is to destroy the attack and not the attacker. And these are concepts that we share within the ACSD community and our trainings. That requires training. It requires training, but it needs to be simple, it needs to be effective, and it needs to be efficient. And the way that you learn that best is in bite-sized pieces, and it's all by design, because you're going to learn it enjoyably and without overwhelm. And you also get to retain it better. All right. So now, what areas should you be concentrating on in 2023 and early in your program if you're new to this, or even if you've been training for a while? Well, there's several things. The physical, there's a physical component of it. The skill set when it comes to this, well, ACSD is essentially a power shot template. We're going to maximize, this is an impact tool. We're going to respect that. And there's a reach, and there's a method, and there's a strategy that's designed to take care of business and do it quickly and efficiently. But what about physically? Because you go to lift this, how quick do you need to be? How strong do you need to be? How mobile? How agile? What about your grip? What happens when you actually make contact with something? What happens to that grip? So that starts hinting at that an important component of all this training is the physical training. You say, well, I'm not a very physical individual and I have limitations. Well, where you are today, that's where you are now. What have you been doing? Have you been following a structured program? Have you been, do you have a set of trained eyes coaching you how to do that? Because your starting point and where you're going to go are two very different things. And you should get that feedback on results real quick, because at the end of the day, feedback on results is still the breakfast of champions. And for caners, that holds true as well. Grip strength is one of the things that we need to work on, and supplementary things that complementary ancillary training that are going to make your grip better, that are going to strengthen, that are going to work on your cardiorespiratory, so your ability. So, with caning, it's usually a spurt, something that you're going to take a quick. Now we train you what happens if this goes a little longer, the adrenaline is pumping, and when the fatigue sets in. These are things that we need to take into consideration. Your power. What are the best methods to develop that? Speed, right, and your accuracy. I'm not a very fast guy. Well, you're not a very fast guy today, but can we make you faster? And not just that. You're looking at speed in two different ways. There's that physical speed, but there's that knowing what to do, when to do it, and just being ahead of the game. So there's other ways of doing that. The point is that we need to circumvent your training and customize it to where you are right now. Again, I'll take you back, because criminals don't care. Now, a good portion of people coming to their self-protection side is for the overall general well-being. Yes, we have a system, I've heard it, cane flow, moving with this cane in such a way that it enhances everything from your circulatory system, lymphatic system, and it's brain training. Cane training, ACSD style, is brain training. Better balance, better coordination, better handling. Handling is one of the areas. Handling is, how do you maneuver that cane? How do you handle that cane? What if you're not looking? What if the cane is just touching you? What if it's just leaning up over here? How do you pick it up? What if is it one hand, two hand, left hand? I can't afford to have a weak side. Kinesthetic training, that cane is touching me. Wherever it's touching me, I can pick it up and explode from it. Do you have the ability to get up and down from a chair? And do you know the proper angles from which to go? And when you start looking at those things, right, it has a beneficial, we don't make any medical claims, but it has an overall beneficial effect to your physiology in the way of functional fitness, right? And functional fitness, the ability to carry out what it is that you need to get done. So if I need to be better, stronger, faster with this cane, that's one thing. And then I want a little room left over for life's daily exigencies, right? Something falls quick and I got to pick it up and without straining my back. And if I'm in pain, moved into area number 3. What are the methods of recovery? They're complementary systems that are going to help you strengthen. I'm really big on variable resistance training with bands for a variety of reasons. This is things that you're going to do in addition to your regular cane training, but how should you structure that, right? When should you do what? And when do you know how to progress? And what are the landmarks that you want to reach? What are the mini goals? Part of this problem is that a lot of you don't even know what should be these goals, right? And that's where you need assistance and you need professional feedback. And then how to recover. Now, how to recover is how to move your body. That's what we're doing. How to feed your body and how to rest. Rest, yes, rest. Methods of recovery. That's been part of ACSD. It's been part of the ACSD buffet. It's been there, you request that information. Well, tell me more about this. And so that's going to make its way now in 2023. We're sharing a lot more of that with you. King Self-Defense University being one of the areas, but one of the platforms where we share that. But it all begins, the most important thing you can do right now is find out, sit for a moment and write it down. Not a plan until you write that down. Write down what it is that is important with you, with this cane. If I were to ask you, what's your main goal with the cane? Well, I just want to learn how to defend myself better, or how to make that. Well, great, that's real simple. We can do that. Give us a call. We'll show you exactly how to do that. And you will be a dynamo. Something people don't talk about is that self-defense skills in general, and with this tool, have a shelf life. So if you caned yesterday and you attained, a certain level some time ago, and you haven't done anything about it now, you may find that your timing is off, a variety of things. We know how to bring you back up to speed, but start with that. And if you don't know even where you should do that, that's why we have that Cane Clarity Call. Do it now, early in 2023. I guarantee you, you're going to win with this. It's going to be an enjoyable experience. You hear the caners talk about caners for life. That's how you started off, with a plan. Watching video just randomly all year and consuming that material. So what? How do we know that you're doing things correctly if we can't even see what you're doing? Right? You think you're doing it correctly. That's one thing, right? Like trying to learn a musical instrument by just watching video alone. Our experiences with this tool doesn't amount to a hill of beans. So we put it out there so that you understand what is available, what the potential is. Get this going, because it's usually a case of you don't know what you don't know. But now do something about it. This is your calling right now, early in 2023, to get a plan in place. All right, so go ahead and give us a call, or text those letters CCC to 305-745-7839, and let's have a conversation. And I guarantee you, it'll be your best year with this tool ever. You will hit your goals, but you got to start that now. All right, I'm Joe Robina, wishing you and yours nothing but the very best in 2023. God bless.